Summertime can be full of vacations and fun and barbecues, but it's also a time for extra safety concerns. David Trevino of the DuPage County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management is here to talk to us about some of these things that we should be concerned about and how we can be prepared this summer. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
How we think about swimming and barbecues and fireworks and all these different things that are kind of unique to summer, more or less. What are some things that we should think of when it comes to, let's start with swimming. What are considerations people should make to make sure they don't get in trouble in the water and other swimming issues?
Yeah, so summertime should be a time for fun, and that's why we want to make sure that people take some emergency preparedness precautions so that they can enjoy and make the most out of their summer. Certainly when it comes to swimming, you know, the what we were taught growing up through Red Cross water safety classes and everything is swim with a buddy in a supervised area. You know, you don't want to be out swimming by yourself. Even if you're a great swimmer, if you're swimming out in a lake or wherever, your foot could get caught under a rock or something, and you need someone there to help you or to call for help. So don't swim alone. Make sure that obviously you see all these cool soft drink commercials where people are diving off cliffs head first into pools of water and stuff. You probably don't want to do that, because the water. You probably can't see to the bottom if you're swimming in a lake here in Illinois, and so take caution when you're swimming. Make sure you always have someone with you. Make sure that you don't go outside of your comfort zone. Stay close to the shallow end, for example, if you're not a good swimmer, or don't venture out, especially if, again, you're going to the lake with your friends and if it's an area that's got a lot of boating and jet skis and things like that. Well, it's kind of hard to see a person swimming in the water, so make sure you're staying in designated swim areas and that type of thing.
Are there any other things in terms of training or other things you can think of that people could do to be comfortable and prepared in the water?
There's all sorts of great training offered both through the American Red Cross as well as the YMCA and several other, I'm sure, probably here at Wheaton through the Park District. They probably have classes available as well. And it's really important that people learn how to swim, especially if they're planning on engaging in water sports and swimming and that type of thing. And it's a great way to stay in shape, and it's a lot of fun. And we do encourage people to learn to swim. And it's something that, again, it's offered through a variety of different places, and encourage people to take advantage of that.
Okay, let's talk about something else that comes with summer, bugs. Now, West Nile continues to be a serious concern. Almost everywhere in the country is concerned with West Nile and have had a number of deaths. What are some things that you can do, some basic precautions you can take?
Sure. So for West Nile virus, it particularly affects the elderly and people with vulnerable immune systems. And some of the things you can do to prevent West Nile virus is to remove standing water. So, do that. Also, to avoid being outside when at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most prevalent. And then finally, if you are going to be outside in an area that might have mosquitoes, to wear insect repellent. And that insect repellent should contain DEET, and a solution that's at least 10% DEET, because that's medically proven to be effective.
Okay. What are some good resources for finding out more about West Nile virus?
If people go to protectdupage.org, we have links to several resources, including the DuPage County Health Department, which has a tremendous set of resources put together specifically about West Nile virus.
Okay. And what about some other insect bites and stings? How can you kind of be prepared for what might happen?
One of the things you can do is to wear, comfortable, loose-fitting, but longer clothing, because insects typically aren't going to burrow under clothes. And then again, avoiding, standing water or being outside at dawn and dusk. And then, of course, there's other commercially available things such as citronella candles and things of that nature that you can have to prevent mosquitoes from coming and bothering you when you're enjoying your summer.
Right, maybe knowing some basic actions you can take first aid if you get a sting or any other kind of bite.
Absolutely, and if you're someone who is allergic to bees, for example, it's a common, it seems more common now, allergy, and you carry an EpiPen or epinephrine. Make sure that if you're going out with friends that they know, hey, I'm allergic to this, and if something happens, here's where my medicine is, and here's what we need to do. But yeah, letting someone know about that.
Well, a lot of people in the summer also travel. So there are a number of safety concerns, some things you can be prepared for to make sure that your trip is safe and happy. What are some special considerations people should make when they're traveling?
Well, first off, you want to make sure that your house is safe. So you want to make sure that you have a friend or a relative who's able to check on your house while you're gone. And I believe the city of Wheaton actually has a program through the police department where people
Correct.
can sign up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, through the city's website, you can put in a vacation house watch request.
Great, and then that's nice because then police officers, as available, will go by and just check your house, make sure that everything looks okay. But yeah, we do encourage people to have a trusted friend or neighbor who can check on your house, make sure everything's fine. Maybe put some lights on timers and that type of thing so it doesn't look like nobody's home, and that sort of thing. And then when traveling, just be careful, be wary of identity theft scams. A lot of people just out of ease and not wanting to carry a lot of cash with them use credit cards, and unfortunately, a lot of travel destinations are places where people do fall victim to identity theft. So encourage people to use cash when possible, maybe traveler's check, something like that. When you're at a hotel, make sure that you're at a hotel where you feel safe. If you're put, and we've talked about this before, if you're put in a room that's all the way far away from the lobby and kind of it seems isolated and you don't feel too safe, don't be afraid to ask at the front counter for a different room, and consider possibly if possible to stay on a lower floor so that hopefully nothing happens. But if something does happen and you do have to evacuate, you're able to get down the stairs easily and evacuate, as opposed to being up on a really high floor where you'd have to climb down several flights of stairs and that type of thing.
Okay, so thinking about those emergencies that could happen, don't let it ruin your vacation, but making some simple considerations
Exactly.
as far as vacation. Is there anything else you can think of while you're traveling, and if you're flying or in a hotel?
Yeah, so you want to pay attention to the safety briefing that the flight attendants conduct. A lot of people blow those off, and they think, I've seen 100 of these because I fly all the time or whatever. But each aircraft is different, and some of them, the seat cushion is just a seat cushion. It's not a flotation device, and you put it in the water, it's going to be like a sponge and soak up water and sink. In others, it is a flotation device and that type of thing. The exits in some planes, they're in different places on each type of aircraft. So you want to pay attention to that, and you want to have an idea in mind. Okay, how many the exit is how many seats in front of me or how many seats in back of me. Similarly, when you check in at the hotel, you want to know, well, how many doorways between me and the emergency exit? Because, when you're getting on the plane or when you're checking in the hotel, everything's bright and looks great. But in the middle of an emergency, if there's a fire and the power's out, that type of thing, and you have to evacuate the aircraft or you have to evacuate your hotel room, you want to know, how many doors or how many seats do I need to count down till I get to the exit. Similarly, in a hotel, you want to make sure you keep your room key in the same place so it's easy to grab. So if you do have to evacuate because of a fire or something, and you go out into the hall and you get a little bit down the hall or into the stairwell and realize, wow, there's more smoke here than in my room. I'm better off going back in my room. Well, if you didn't take your key with you, you're locked out and now you're stuck. So make sure you take your hotel room key with you if you do leave the hotel in an emergency. One other thing regarding hotel keys is we encourage you to only get the number of keys that you actually need and are going to use. So if you're traveling with a companion and each of you needs a key, well, then get 2 keys. Otherwise, if it's just you by yourself, just tell the front desk clerk right from the beginning, I only want 1 key. Because otherwise, what a lot of people do is they leave that other key on the dresser or whatever in their hotel room when they go out for the day, and then cleaning staff or anyone else who has access to that room can use a card skimmer, skim that key, and it's got your credit card information embedded on that in case you're going to order room service or charge something to your room. So we encourage you to only ask for however many keys you're actually going to need.
That makes sense. Anything else as far as traveling? Any other considerations?
Those are the main considerations. Make sure that whether you're traveling by, air, bus, plane, whatever, driving, that someone else knows where you're going and when you plan to get there. So that way, and also the route you plan to take. So that way, if you don't make it to your destination, someone knows to check on you. They know where to check and where to look for you.
Okay. Well, hopefully people are going somewhere sunny or enjoying the summertime weather here. Let's talk about sun safety. Now, I read somewhere the National Safety Council says 1 in 5 Americans develop skin cancer in their lifetime. And I don't know, there's kind of a balance between you're supposed to get some sun for health reasons, but not too much sun. Can you talk kind of about finding a safe balance?
Yeah, I think it is important to be outside and enjoy the summer and absorb the sun, but to do so safely. And so that means protecting your eyes by wearing sunglasses that are UV protected, and also to wear some type of sunscreen so that your body's protected as well. I know it's fashionable to go out there and have an authentic tan, but you don't want to damage your skin, and you certainly don't want to make yourself more susceptible to skin cancer. So you definitely want to apply sunscreen and also to use sunglasses when you're outdoors in sunny weather.
Is there any particular population that's more susceptible to sunburns or any other problems with the sun?
Generally, people who have more of a fair skin complexion are more susceptible to that, so they should take extra precaution and possibly even use a stronger sunscreen than some of the lower number ones.
Okay. In addition to sun, a lot of people are barbecuing and lighting off fireworks. Maybe not lately, hopefully. People are not engaging in dangerous activities. But can you talk about fire safety as far as barbecues and some other concerns with barbecues?
Yeah, you want to be very careful when you're using barbecue grills. You want to make sure that you're only using them outdoors. We've had situations before where people try to use them indoors, or they're using a propane grill indoors. And no, you shouldn't do that. That should be outdoors. You want to make sure that it's supervised. You're not just leaving it unattended, and that you're only applying the proper amount of lighter fluid and not too much. Also, if you're using like we see unfortunately at Thanksgiving every year, with people use turkey fryers and they're putting a frozen turkey directly in there, or of course the water and oil doesn't mix, and that kind of creates a disaster. So make sure whatever you're doing that you've thoroughly read the instructions for whatever type of device you're using, and you're doing so in a safe manner, not leaving it unattended. Making sure if you have little kids running around and stuff, they realize the grill is hot, not to touch it, and that type of thing.
Okay, and I would think a lot of those also go for campfires and just any other fires you might be having during the summer.
Definitely, you want to be careful with campfires as well. Anything that could possibly cause a fire that would spread, and so yeah, you want to be careful, and also not just like with any type of emergency preparedness. It's one thing for you to know it, but you really need to tell everyone who's with you, hey guys, just so you know, we've got a fire extinguisher right over here in case this goes bad and something happens. Make sure that everyone's aware of the plan, not just don't just keep it to yourself.
Yes, in terms of fireworks, what are some guides for fireworks safety?
My guide is to leave it to the professionals. In the city of Wheaton, as well as most of DuPage County, fireworks are illegal, and they should be left to the professionals. Each year we see people who take it upon themselves to have a nice fireworks show, and in some cases it's the person's own fault because they don't know what they're doing. But in other cases, they're going to one of these buy one get 20 free fireworks stands where maybe the quality control is as good as it could be, and it's a defective item, and they light it and it doesn't go off, and they go up to say, well, why didn't this go off? And then it goes off,
Right.
And so just leave it to the professionals. In the city of Wheaton as well as the surrounding communities, we have great fireworks shows here, 4th of July and other holidays. So really just encourage people to leave that to the professionals.
Are there any food safety concerns with barbecuing or picnicking or anything? Is that another concern in the summer?
Yeah, you want to keep hot food hot and cold food cold. I remember in an epidemiology class, every example of some type of food contamination was always like the coleslaw or the potato salad that was brought to the summer picnic. So keep that stuff in a cooler. Make sure it's kept cold. Similarly, with your hot food, make sure that that's kept hot. And when you're done, refrigerate the leftovers. Don't leave them out for hours and hours and hours, and then try and serve them later.
Okay, and finally, when it comes to the temperature, what are some concerns as far as your physical safety in the sun?
Yeah, you want to make sure that you have a place to get out of the sun. So whether you set up a little pop-up tent type of thing, or you're having your picnic near some trees or something, so that people can, during the hottest part of the day, they can get out of the hot sun if they need to. You want to make sure that you have plenty of water for people to drink. Alcohol and caffeinated beverages actually dehydrate people. So drinking something with alcohol or something with caffeine in it when you're already dehydrated, that's not going to help you. It's just going to worsen the problem. So make sure you have plenty of water on hand for people to drink so that they stay hydrated.
So is there anything else that you can think of that we didn't cover?
You know, one thing that I want to mention is regarding grilling. A lot of people enjoy, and I'm certainly one of those people, enjoy food that's cooked on a grill, specifically a charcoal grill. And, you know, it's not safe to use those on, under, or near wood decks. And, you know, I see almost every year respond to apartment fires where either someone was grilling and some of the charcoal winds up igniting, falling on the deck below and igniting that, or because they use a lot of lighter fluid, the fire gets up high and it ignites the deck above them. So make sure that you're not using a charcoal grill on, around, or near any type of wooden deck. It's really important.
Okay. Anything else that you wanted to throw in there?
One other thing that, you know, you were mentioning traveling earlier, and something that's really important, you know, a lot of people, when they're going to on a vacation somewhere, especially somewhere out of state, you know, they might know the city they're going to, but they probably don't know what county they're in. So as an example, you know, in Oak Brook, we have a lot of conventions there. And so a lot of people stay in hotels in Oak Brook. And so they would know if someone told them a tornado is coming to Oak Brook. But tornado warnings generally are issued by county. So if someone traveling from out of state is in Oak Brook and a tornado warning is issued for DuPage County, that traveler might not know. And so similarly, when we here from DuPage County go and travel outside of our county somewhere else, make sure you know what county you're in. Because if you're watching local TV or if you're listening to local radio, you're going to hear a tornado warning or a thunderstorm warning or whatever type of warning issued probably by county name. And so it's important that you know what county you're in so you know whether or not you need to take shelter.
Right, that's a great idea. Well, I think this will arm people with lots of tips to be prepared for the summer and be able to enjoy themselves this summer safely.
Great.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Hi, I'm David Gervino with the DuPage County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, encouraging you to be prepared so you can make the most out of this summer. Summertime brings a lot of different hazards and risks when it comes to emergency preparedness into play, such as heat safety and vacation safety and other things, and we want to make sure you have the best time you can possibly have this summer. And the way to do that is to visit us online at protectdupage.org and check out our informative videos and other tips. Again, please visit us online at protectdupage.org.